Alright, let's talk about magic real quick. Magic is in the world. You have to deal with something. Magic is in the world. Regardless of whether the US government, the church, or anyone wants to deal with this, you guys have released a lot of radiation because Putin and the white man want to destroy the world rather than let niggers and indigenous people who aren't white run it. Anyway, guys, I want you to think about how you have failed to get off world, started to destroy it, and then continue to destroy it because you can't let go. And because you can't let go, your survival has been sealed as you done been fucked with and you're gonna die out. The white and I'm not like there are white people that will survive the purge and there are Slavic men that will not. Like when I say white people, I mean white men and women that will survive the purge. Slavic men, as far as I'm considered, are just a pestilence right now. They really are. They do one of two things. They traffic and rape, and then they traffic and rape over racism because we have to control the Slavic pussy. Whatever, dude. That's on you. We're dealing with some wild shit, and you're trying to drive the world backwards for whatever reason. Anyway, with that said, magic is up to everyone, and like not everybody has it in them to use magic. People with a high amount of God are the first people to use magic, and because I've been worshiping any god to get it done, TM, because I definitely get it done, TM. People will never ever understand what's going on. Like, if you know old ways, like if you know how to sacrifice, like Abraham, be like, I'm gonna take my kid out here because God told me to, and I'm doing it. I say do it. Just be like, God, you told me to do this. No need to back down. That's people crying. Anyway, so with that said, killing royalty will increase your magical like abilities, especially if you're other royalty, because you're thinning out the blood and there can only be one. Having land and property is a good way to have magic. Having hereditary magic is a good way to have magic. I think Vex and Tom Ahern both have magic, but because I haven't met Vex and because she hasn't been blatantly racist in a fuck you way, she's just like, yeah, I hang out with Mickey. And I'm like, Corey says Mickey's a coon. Dude, anyway, with that said, Corey says Mickey's a coon, so Mickey ain't got what all the other Barnetts who aren't coons got, including Ethan, because he's a fucking coon too. In fact, he's the biggest coon we got. I don't know. He ain't with the family like that anymore. And Cora is like, Mickey is literal like meth whore spawn. So there you go. Anyway. Vex co-signed this. And the church is pissed because of the things she done to achieve power. But now they really have to remember their role, like the Pope's role as the emissary of God in the Christian church's eyes before the split of denominations through the Protestant Reformation and the putting of the fucking of the issues on the door before they said fuck you, we're Protestants now, and then kicked it off to America because fuck that. Including, you also have to remember that every state government, including Russia and fucking Britain, said the Church of England and the Church of Russia. So there you go. We're done. Anyway, you can do mad wild shit with magic. Hand of glory. You dig up a man's hand that it was freshly buried, which is why we cement them now. Anyway, you cut it off. You put candles like in between the fingers. You light them like, and you go to town because you're no longer under the eyes of God. There's a bit more to it, but I'm not really going to get into it because people get mad and start fucking with the video. And that's the federal government going, we will, but this is good so far. Anyway, you can do other shit. People use blood magic and shit. Like, people can eat genetic material. Look at Serena Havoc. He ate somebody's ovary. He was beautiful for about 10 minutes. It's starting to fade. I have a picture of him fiending, but the federal government said, remember this picture of him fiending, and remember this picture of you saying, I'm going to kill your ass because we need you to do it. And Serena, we'll get to that later when I can get back on 4chan. So, With that, you can do weird shit like eat people's like fucking eat people's genetic material for like a raw power feed. I don't suggest it. It's cannibalism either way. I do wild shit. I draw power from everywhere, and I keep going on to do drawing power from everywhere. The fact that I can kill in a personal way most of the things on Earth at any given time, any way I want, including by being like, you want an aneurysm, means that whatever land I'm on, I can draw power from. Doesn't mean I should. Also, you'll notice places like the power draw from deserts and shit is different than the power draw from other places. Also, if there's not a lot of life or power to draw, you're gonna die. Because the power has to come from somewhere. Assume that if you're not drawing power from the land, which will weaken the land, so don't do it on places that are barren unless you're trying to bring shit back, in which case you probably gotta sacrifice some shit to the land. Like, don't fuck around. With that said, like, there are a lot of other ways to get magic. So we went over sacrifice, we went over magic pull from the land, we went over pig magic. I didn't read enough Aleister Crowley to really get into it. That shit was written in like the 60s or the 18. I think it was written in the like 1890s and then kicked up to the 60s. And like the Nazis being assholes have found a lot of wild shit, and then they used some of it and they could never tell what worked because they had good agents. And when they didn't have good agents, shit failed either way. So fuck it. Also, fuck the Nazis. They'll kill their best agents. Wrong. Anyway, now as we think about this, we also have to remember people are fucking doing stupid shit. You can also use magic by having enough like static belief, which is why they're trying to take away my shit by like disregarding my message. Whatever, dude. You guys will be sorry. You disregard the message, we're not gonna have cool shit like wars between people who are mutants, people who have magic, and humans and like aliens. Instead, it's gonna be humans versus mutants, and then whoever's left is gonna get mopped up by the squiddies and eaten, and that's it. So keep fucking around, federal government. I also want to remind everybody that I love the Gantz shit, but it's just militia tech. It is literally just self-defense tech. It really is. It's just, get yourself and a couple of the boys together and go run game, and if you have the physical ability or the tenacity, you win. That's all it is. But yeah, I think that's it. That's an 8-minute video. Also, can we please stop fucking with this? This is annoying. I don't want to do this. I did it separately. Don't do this to me.